Welcome to another episode of
Please bet on football games.
I think I'm addicted to personally having really good weeks while the podcast falters.
Yeah, that's becoming quite evident because the podcast lost again. We went 3-3 on our bets, but poor unit allocation did us in. You want to talk about those games, Joe?
Let's talk about the games.
First up, we had Minnesota over Philadelphia. That was a money line half unit bet. The Eagles won pretty convincingly. Lost.
Yeah, on one hand, I did not expect Jalen Hurts to play an A-plus game. That's insane.
Fair.
Like, if you were to tell me that Jalen Hurts was going to have a Tom Brady caliber game, I would say, okay, yeah, no, the Eagles will beat any team ever. And even still, the EDP thinks the Vikings actually deserve to win. Now, part of that is Carson Wentz, man. He threw a pick six. He turned the ball over. He's bad.
Yeah, hurts.
It's a good thing that the Vikings are making absolutely certain that J.J. McCarthy has no future in this league so that they can see a little bit more Carson Wentz. But no, I mean, like, basically, our handicap was similar caliber teams, similar caliber quarterbacks. We're getting even odds at home. Turns out the quarterbacks couldn't have been any more disparate, and that's all she wrote. We deserve
I think we deserve to lose that one. Simple as that.
I disagree with the EDP chart. I think we deserve to lose.
Yeah, and that's why we made it a half unit bet.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some winners. We had the Carolina Panthers over the New York Jets, -2. That was a 1 unit bet. We won 0.95 units.
This should have been 3 units. The thing about the Jets is that they can't fucking move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the Panthers aren't good at all. Like, Bryce Young really tried to lose this game. But they can score 2 touchdowns. And that is insurmountable for the Jets. Literally. And the Jets played half this game with Tyrod Taylor, who's a pretty fucking clear upgrade over Justin Fields. And it's not enough. We absolutely deserve to win this bet, and we should have fucking doubled or tripled our units. And I personally did, and that's why I had a winning week. And I'm sorry.
Still counts as a win.
Sunday morning rolled around, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This has to be a max bet.
Yeah. You got a little conservative there, but still a win.
I bet with my vagina. I didn't mean it. I'll try not to.
Next up, we had the Indianapolis Colts over the LA Chargers. That was a money line bet, 1 unit. We won 1.05 units.
Yeah, and the EDP says the Chargers deserve to win, and yeah, I mean, it's exactly like we said. This game went exactly like we said. Justin Herbert's better. Daniel Jones is not special. The Chargers defense is atrocious, and that's all that really will end up mattering. Like, the Chargers can't stop the run. They're not very good at stopping the pass. They can't run. And if anything bad happens, anything unlucky happens on Justin Herbert's end, they're fucked. He had a tipped ball at the line get picked, and he threw a bad pick in the end zone. Like, Justin Herbert made one bad mistake, and the game's over, period.
Yeah, and I mean, that was, you're right, that was our handicap. Like, the Colts don't have to be perfect, the Chargers do.
Yeah.
That was a great bet, but on to some losers.
Yeah.
We had the Atlanta Falcons over the San Francisco 49ers. That was a money line bet at plus odds. That was 1 unit. The 49ers won.
Yeah, and this was another frustrating one because you could see in real time. Like, I could see by the second quarter, I was like, oh, this is not going how I thought it would go.
Yep.
2 things we missed. 1, George Kittle isn't that important for the passing game. Like, the 49ers can easily manufacture yards from any tight end or really any weapon of any kind. It literally doesn't matter who plays any position for the 49ers except for maybe a few offensive linemen as long as they have Kyle Shanahan. Here's the real kicker. George Kittle revolutionizes the 49ers run game because he's essentially the world's fastest, quickest tackle. And I totally overlooked that. I undervalued that. My bad. Also, Michael Penix. We're going to keep calling him Penix until he proves worthy of something better. He has no pocket awareness. He's so oblivious back there. He's so skittish back there. Like, he doesn't notice the rush. But if, God forbid, he ever does notice the rush, the play is over. He can't extend. He can't throw through contact. I get it. You've destroyed both of your knees. Like Kyle Broflovsky in that South Park where he got the surgery to become a tall black man. Did you see it?
No.
He wanted to be good at basketball. He got a surgery to become a tall black kid instead of a short Jewish kid. The doctor told him it's purely cosmetic. He tried to dunk. His knees exploded on the court. It was funny as hell. Michael Penix blew both of his knees apart twice.
Yeah, that picture of him with double, knee, recently operated on knees, all wrapped up and braced up and everything is wild.
It's disgusting, and every time I see it, I feel bad for him and I want to cry. The Falcons are also the kings of ending the first half by almost scoring, which really hurts. The Falcons, if Michael Penix would have played the entire game like he played the first quarter, Falcons win. If the Falcons could have not done dumb shit and punted conservatively, Falcons probably win. But Michael Penix is Michael Penix, so he's going to always absolutely fucking suck in the second half. Like not like, oh, that's a drop off. Like, what the do you know you're alive? Are you conscious? Like, can't hit a fucking screen pass terrible. God forbid he gets hit a little bit, and it's really over. But we should know this. We got too excited about the Falcons because Bijan is good, but the 49ers also really came to play on defense in a way I did not expect without Fred Warner. So, good for them. We handicapped this wrong. I would not bet it again. Moving on.
Yep, I agree. Rough bet. Deserve to lose. On to our big loser of the week, our best bet. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Detroit Lions. We had a unit on the spread that was plus 5.5 and a unit on the money line, which was great odds, but we lost both. The Lions won. Baker played poorly.
Yeah, here's the thing. If Baker Mayfield plays B- football, which is the worst game he had played prior to this all season, the Buccaneers win this game pretty clearly, in my opinion. But Baker Mayfield played D football, and if we would have known that, we probably would not have bet on the Buccaneers. We never would ever bet on the Buccaneers under any circumstance if we knew they were getting D football out of Baker, right? Like, he's everything. The EDP drive quality model says Lions should have won by 9 points. I think we got some unlucky calls on the simultaneous possession pick. I think they got it right, but I would not be shocked if they said, too close to call, give it to the receiver. The fourth down, knee hits the ground like a centimeter before the first down. That's rough. And the fucking overturn upon second review, you could review the fucking play twice? Okay, news to me. I thought it was pretty explicitly the opposite, but whatever. Pretty rough. Mike Evans concussing himself and dropping a deep bomb that would have completely broken the game open. Tough. But mostly it was just Baker Mayfield played poorly, and the Buccaneers need Baker Mayfield to be great in order to be good.
Yeah, like we knew that Detroit would still be able to score a decent amount.
Yeah.
We just thought that Baker and the offense would be able to keep up.
If you had told me the Buccaneers would hold Detroit to 24 points, I would have said max bet on the Buccaneers, money line, because they will score 30. People were like, oh, Baker did you see he got pressured 40 times last night? And I'm like, okay, he dropped back like 55 times. That's a lot. It's terrible. But Baker's been dealing with terrible protection all season, and it hasn't mattered. He's mitigated it. He did not mitigate. There was miscommunication everywhere. Baker was missing throws high even when there was proper communication and execution by the receivers. It was really frustrating to watch. And again, largely because of Baker Mayfield, which is something I haven't said in 4 or 5 years. That's the worst game he's played since he was a Brown.
Yeah, I think so. But that's life. We needed Baker to play well. He didn't.
But do I make the bet again next week? I think so, because I don't think Baker's ever going to play that badly again.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Do they play this week?
Yeah, they play the Saints.
Okay, so we'll probably bet on them again. Anyway. We lost that one. Would probably bet it again. But we had one final bet that was a bit of a teaser. We had New England. We bought it down to money line, paired with Seattle down to -2.5. That was a 1-unit bet. They won 0.91 units.
Yeah, so you may recall we basically said take the -3. If it moves off -3, then tease it. We were just covering our asses. It doesn't matter. There is no number by which the Texans covered. This game was dog shit. CJ Stroud is completely and totally inept. He was also under a lot of pressure, like Baker, but we now have a large sample of about 40 games of CJ Stroud's career, and he's accurate on like 68% of his passes. League average is 72. That's pretty fucking awful. CJ Stroud's really inaccurate, and he panics, and he can't handle pressure. That's a quote from my scouting breakdown out of OSU. And this was my biggest bet of the week. I accidentally double bet it, so I accidentally had 12 grand on this game.
Well, turned out okay.
After the first quarter, I was mad that I didn't double bet it, because I would have loved to have 16 on this game. Couldn't have been an easier bet. The Seahawks, Sam Darnold handed the Texans a touchdown and threw 2 picks, and Cooper Kupp threw a pick in the red zone, and the Seahawks still covered with tremendous ease. Think about it. This game should have been like 30-3 minimum.
Yeah, it felt very comfortable.
If this game was played again next week, I think I would bet Seattle for 5 units. I'd bet 20 grand on this game. I wouldn't really blame you. I've never been more confident in a result being replicable. Like, that was utter and complete domination and utter and complete futility. So on the week, we had 2 bets where I think we really screwed the pooch, and we had 3 bets that I think were really smart, and 1 bet that I'd probably make again, but certainly wouldn't make our best bet.
Yep.
And that's why we broke about fucking even.
Yeah, I think we lost 0.59 units by my math.
I'm at 0.50, a rounding error to be sure.
Regardless, week 8 on the horizon.
I got amazing news for you.
Is it bad?
It's the worst slate I've ever fucking seen. This is going to be a quick fucking pod, which is good because I have to catch a flight.
All right, well, let's talk about week 8 then.
Week 8.
First up on Thursday night, we have the Minnesota Vikings going to play the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are -3.
The Chargers are -3, and apparently the odds are -123. I've never seen that number, but alas, the money is coming in on the Chargers. This line is moving away from the Vikings. Vikings announced today that Carson Wentz will be starting. I kind of want to bet on the Chargers, but I also kind of want to bet on the Vikings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I'm feeling that as well.
I think the Chargers are a better team, but I think I think the Chargers have a much better quarterback, and the quarterback discrepancy will benefit the Chargers. But I think the Vikings have a much better team and are a little underrated right now.
My gut says Vikings because I think the roster as a whole is better, and they're catching what will probably be 2.5, 3.
They're going to catch 3. They might catch 3.5.
And I think the teams are relatively close. And I mean, as we just saw with the Chargers, Justin Herbert has to be perfect.
Hold up a wait a 1 motherfucking minute. It's the El Capitan. He's got motherfucking lieutenants. No, it's not the El Capitan. It's Joe Alt. That's huge.
That
It's
is big.
genuinely gigantic. Shit. I mean, the Chargers will have half their starting line back. They'll have Brad Bozeman, who sucks, but he is a starter on their team, technically. They'll have Mekhi Becton, who sucks, but he is a starter on their team, technically. They have Zion Johnson, who's become mid, which is so disappointing, but also good because it's way better than he was. And then they're missing Trey Pippin. The only guy they're missing is Trey Pippins at right tackle. That's the best their line's been all year. The receivers are all healthy and pretty good. The Vikings secondary, poo-poo kakaduki. Hold on now. Am I the El Capitan? Are we waiting up 1 motherfucking minute for me? Okay.
Maybe. Are the Chargers going to be able to stop? Like, I know it's Carson Wentz, so he's going to give the ball away.
Yeah, but
It's
Carson Wentz
self-sabotage, but
he's been better than you think. That's wrong. That's not what I mean. He's turning the ball over a lot, like 2 times, 3 times a game. But he's also moving the ball decently when he's not turning the ball over. Fucking Justin Jefferson is gonna go against dude. Ben St. Just is the 6th ranked corner per PFF. That is his picture on PFF is smirking because he knows that this is a lie. Ben St. Just would be a pretty decently athletic edge rusher.
and because we know the Vikings are going to run the ball.
But they shouldn't, but they will.
They shouldn't, but they will. And this Chargers team can't stop the run at all.
And that's true. And the Vikings offensive line is finally perfectly healthy, or as perfectly healthy as it's going to be. I don't know if Ryan Kelly's ever coming back, but Blake Brendel didn't look terrible at center this past week. So the Vikings offense is basically the best it's been all year, other than Carson Wentz is starting over JJ McCarthy because Kevin O'Connell is a serial killer or has syphilis that has migrated to his brain already.
Or JJ McCarthy has no idea what's going on.
Not possible. I saw him play in 2 games and it was better than Carson Wentz. And those were his first 2 games. And one of them he played on like 3 hours of sleep after his wife gave birth.
Yeah, because the reason I think I lean Vikings is because we just saw a pretty similar game last week. Like, the Colts are better than the Vikings are, but it's more of a complete team that, doesn't have a great quarterback, but for the most part, he can move the ball. I mean, Daniel Jones doesn't turn it over like Wentz does, so maybe that's the big difference.
Well, this is the thing. You got about as bad of a Herbert game as you're gonna ever get last week against the Colts. Like, everything went wrong for Herbert, but they still scored 24 despite 2 backbreaking turnovers. Like, it very easily could have been 31 points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can see the Vikings scoring 31 points ever.
Yeah, that's fair. The Chargers also got a lot of opportunities because the Colts were scoring relatively quickly.
True.
Whereas I don't think the Vikings will score that quick. So I think they're going to get fewer possessions. I don't know how much that really matters, but
I'm glad we decided to record today because this is a fucking interesting game. All right, so see, this is what I don't get. The Chargers can't stop the run at all, right? But we like Dion Henley, their linebacker.
Right.
And we like Khalil Mack. He's still solid. Tui is a good rotational edge. And Jason Owe is like a good run-stuffing edge. And Tyir Tart is a pretty good, like, nose guard. Like a good nose guard. But they can't stop the run in a defense that is like designed to stop the run. With a defensive coordinator who 4 months ago we were hailing as a genius. What the fuck? I don't know. So I don't really understand why the Chargers can't be better on defense.
Let's just blame Jim Harbaugh and make it easy.
Well, if the Chargers lose this game, that's 4 straight losses for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, and they're right back at 500 where Jim Harbaugh eternally belongs. How long until people start Brian Windforst fingers noticing?
I don't know. I kind of just don't want to bet because because I feel like both sides have things that I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely see them covering because of this.
I actually can't wait to watch this game. This is going to be a fun game to watch. We
Yeah, it
will
is.
learn so much. I lean Vikings now. I lean Vikings. I lean Vikings. If they were playing JJ McCarthy, I'd bet Vikings.
Yeah, that's fair.
If they were playing Sam fucking Howell, I would bet Vikings, but they traded him a week before the season and then immediately benched JJ McCarthy. They traded him because he was too much of a threat to JJ McCarthy and they wanted him to be comfortable. And then they immediately benched JJ fucking McCarthy. I legitimately think that Cock has syphilis. And wouldn't it be appropriate? His brain going to mush because of him being a dirty cock.
It would be poetic, but I don't think we're betting on this game. Let's go to Sunday.
Yeah. Well, because this week is so terrible, it inherently must be the maybe pile because it's actionable. But alas, first game.
No international games this week.
Praise Christ. I'll be
I
in
was about to
California,
say,
that would kill me.
a welcome break. So, starting in the 12 o'clock hour, we have the New York Jets going to play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are -6.5.
Bet you didn't think you'd hear that 2 weeks ago.
Right?
The value is on the Jets. They benched Justin Fields. They replaced him with Tyrod Taylor. The problem is that value is not enough. Also, Amarius Mims played really well last week, and I think he's on the come up. And I think the entire Bengals offensive line is about to be really underrated. I used quote fingers there because Joe Flacco is a smart veteran quarterback who doesn't do dumb shit like Joe Burrow and Jake Browning. Jamar Chase is. Remember when people thought Ahmad Gardner, Sauce Gardner, was like sick as fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Told ya. Tall, like lanky cornerbacks with ball skills in a cover 3 defense will always look about 25% better than they are. He's a good corner. He's not special. And Jamar Chase is about to expose that yet again. Remember when people thought this entire Jets defense was like stacked on talent?
Mm-hmm.
Told ya. Mid as fuck, through and through. I think that the Bengals will move the ball a lot. I think the Bengals certainly win. Tyrod Taylor is an upgrade, but I don't think he's a big enough upgrade. The Jets are capped at like 17 points per game. I think the Bengals can score 24. Lean Bengals, despite knowing that the value's on the Jets.
Yeah, I think I'm same boat. Like the Jets will be more, it'll operate a little bit better, but they also won't have some of those same explosive plays. And you're right, they just don't have the firepower to score that much. And with the defense being bad,
well, the
mid.
Jets offense. The upgrade to Tyrod Taylor could be an entire touchdown, and that means that they're worth about 17 points a game instead of 10. Like the floor was so low that dramatically increasing towards the ceiling is still low. So yeah, I mean, like, you cannot touch the Jets, but I don't want to lay a touchdown with the Bengals.
Yep, comes down to that. So we will have a lean and maybe pile next game. We have the San Francisco 49ers going to play the Houston Texans. The Texans are -1.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, that face is exactly how I feel. Alex had a very skeptical face.
I was confused.
Yeah, so we're going to bet the 49ers.
Yes.
On the money line at +110. That's stealing. The only question is how much. And also we need to talk about our reservations because I have some.
Of course, but
Yeah. So
we watched that game yesterday, right?
we did. I guess the one big difference is that the 49ers just genuinely have no pass rush at all because like even Bryce Huff got hurt, who was all they had left, and apparently he's not going to play. So that's bad. This entire defense is falling apart completely. But yeah, it's really bad. But the Texans offensive line is not good. I also think the Texans offensive line is coached really poorly because half of this offensive line played elsewhere last year and looked good, and then they came to Houston and looked like a mess. I also think that CJ Stroud is largely the creator of his own torment. He doesn't see things quickly. He invites pressure, and he got Nico Collins concussed. I think that even if CJ Stroud was good, the amount of trauma he's inflicted on himself this year is going to leave lasting results. And also, he's going to be just physically banged up from the beating he took last night. On a short week, getting his ass fucking kicked. You have to bet the 49ers. I don't care who the 49ers quarterback is. I think that honestly, Mac Jones is probably a little better than Purdy, but it's not significant. And as we already talked about, George Kittle is a gigantic force multiplier in the run game. I know that the Texans have a sick defense. I know they have a sick defensive line. We just saw Seattle with a, similar at best offensive scheme and offensive line run pretty decently effectively against Houston. I expect the 49ers to do the same, and the 49ers might in fact, they will get Ricky Pearsall back. Christian McCaffrey looks healthy. Like, everything is starting to come up Niners. Fuck it, this is the best bet.
How does that say? I mean, like, I know it's only the third game we've talked about, but...
Well, there's one more that's gonna fucking shock you.
Interesting. All right, lock that one in. San Francisco over Houston money line. That is a 2-unit +110 bet.
Ooh, and I will be watching it at a San Francisco 49ers bar.
Oh, that works. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Wow.
Next game, we have the Chicago Bears going to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are -6.5.
Is Lamar Jackson playing?
I have no idea.
Well, that's the entire game. So Caleb Williams, the Bears are 2018 all over again. Like, they couldn't be more 2018. Alex, does this sound familiar? I am ostracized and hated by my family, friends, and hometown team fan base because the extremely highly touted, highly drafted quarterback of the Chicago Bears sucks. Nobody wants to admit it, and we keep winning games due to lucky defensive bullshit, so they aren't forced to reckon with it yet. But when I point out that he's bad, they tell me I'm and also other bad things about me, never realizing that you can't win games by taking the ball away 3 times at midfield every week. We are Jake Moody hitting an upright away from full-blown total recall. Oh,
Yeah,
and
could you imagine if you have another double doink to lose this year?
by the way, Alex, the man leading this team, offensive genius, everybody wanted him as a head coach. Bears lucked into him. First year, he's winning, dragging the quarterback to decent stats despite the quarterback pooping all over himself always. Buddy, this shit is fucking Groundhog's Day. It is a slightly upgraded version of 2018 with Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky.
They couldn't even wait 10 years to do the circle.
They've also done the fun thing where they brought in a coach right when they were about to fire their GM. And I'm sure they'll fire the GM within the next 2 years because just like his ineptitude is unmistakable. So like the coaching cycle and timeline matching up is exactly as 2018. The quarterback, exactly as 2018. The defense carrying everything, exactly as 2018. The kicker that we picked up off the waiver wire and like it's working, but we're kind of scared, exactly like 2018. Everything is exactly like 2018. And when I say, guys, this is exactly like 2018, my dad calls me and tells me that he's ashamed he sired me. I'm not even joking, dude. I threw in the group chat with all the male family members over the weekend, and I said, guys, you realize what's happening with Caleb Williams right now, right? And they're like, shut up, Joey. He's fucking awesome. Quit being a downer with your bullshit. Nobody cares. He's fucking winning. It's great. And that hooker really loves you, Dad. You should give her some money. Yeah. So the Bears make me slightly frustrated and upset. But I do think they'll win if they're playing Snoop fucking Huntley or Cooper Rush.
All I could find is that he didn't practice, but they're still unsure. Roquan Smith and Bronny Stanley are both practicing though.
I don't give a fuck. Dude, it's Snoop Huntley. That's it. Okay, he hurt his hamstring and he's get out of here, USA Today. Remember when our news sources sold stories instead of strange games? I don't think that was necessarily better, but at least it made sense. Lamar Jackson is limited or not practicing with a hamstring injury, and he's a running quarterback who's been struggling this year. I kind of want to bet the Bears.
I'd be fine with it. I mean, the Ravens have looked absolutely horrible this entire year.
We'll pencil it in. So, all of that ranting to say, they may be the 2018 Bears, and it is not sustainable, and Caleb Williams will either get Ben Johnson fired or be Jared Goffed. But by Jared Goff, I mean he will be traded elsewhere so that Ben Johnson can upgrade to like a legitimately good quarterback. Please save Justin Herbert. That would be my dream.
It could have been the Drake May, Ben Johnson, too, which would have been your real dream.
Well, that would have been bad because I would have died of dehydration from cumming myself.
Who would you rather see Ben Johnson with? Baker, Herbert, or May?
Drake May. Like, I love Baker Mayfield. Drake May is the best quarterback I've ever seen. Except Brady, of course. But like, that's it. I'm serious. Alex, he's accurate on 85% of his fucking deep balls. And I know what you're thinking. That's a nice streak. No, dude. He was accurate on 75% of them in college. This is what he does.
That's very good.
Drake May is insane. My favorite quarterback's Marcus Mariota. The quarterback I admire the most is Justin Herbert. The quarterback I have a rooting interest in and want to see succeed because like he deserves it is Baker Mayfield. But the best quarterback is Drake May. By the way, all of them having gigantic vindication seasons, like proving all the quarterbacks I've been loving and like people have been like, no, you're crazy, having gigantic seasons of vindication. And then all the quarterbacks I've been hating and people are like, oh, admit you were wrong, sucking ass, proving me right. I wasn't wrong about CJ Stroud. I wasn't wrong about Jaden Daniels. I wasn't wrong about Brock Purdy. You're a fucking idiot. You don't know ball. So when you have opinions, you think the wrong thing. I was right. Fuck you. Pay me. This is This is why I'm up 7 units on the year, motherfucker, despite losing 8 units in week 4. Dude, if week 4 I had just fallen asleep and forgotten to bet, I would be insufferable right now.
But you didn't.
Yeah, well, no, I sure fucking didn't. Minus 26 grand. Still up 30 grand on the year. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So, by the way, one of those losses was 2.5 units on the fucking Eagles blocking a kick and scoring a touchdown with it. Fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember.
Yeah, no, the railing on my balcony was surprisingly short that day. Anyhow,
Next game?
no, Chicago has to be a maybe pile because the 2018 Bears were not sustainable, but they did win games. Next game.
There we go. We have the Miami Dolphins going to play the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are -7.
All right, this game sucks. You can't bet this game. Michael Penix is too much of a saboteur to actually lay any points with him, much less 7 of them. That being said, the Dolphins are like, I feel every week like they're on the precipice of giving up. They refuse to give up, but like, you're going to give up, right? Ashton Davis is starting and he looks serviceable, so that's cool. Something happened to Chop Robinson. He was incredible last year and he just looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that whole team is a dumpster fire right now.
Here's the real thing. Mike McDaniel benched Tua mid-game last week and replaced him with Quinn Ewers. 2 things. 1, why is Quinn Ewers back up instead of Zach Wilson? What is Zach Wilson doing in practice? Does Zach Wilson like heroin? Because Zach Wilson's an idiot, but he is physically gifted. Quinn Ewers is an idiot who's also not physically gifted at all. So what are we doing here? Quinn Ewers is like if Joe Burrow had none of the spatial awareness, moxie, it factor, or intelligence. That's bad. Whereas Zach Wilson is kind of like if J.J. McCarthy was an idiot, which is like you can do something with it. I don't know.
I just think it's like McDaniel is from that Shanahan tree, and those guys always pick the tool deficient but supposedly good game manager, decision maker type.
The safe guy.
Over the toolsy guy that will throw picks or ad-lib.
Quinn Ewers does exactly what he's told without thinking, whereas Zach Wilson tries to do extra and fucks himself.
Exactly.
You've answered my question quite perfectly. Here's the second question, and if you can answer this, I give you every penny I've won betting on the NFL this year, because you can't. If you bench Tua halfway through last week's game, and you've had problems with him both on and off the field for the last 3 weeks, Tua says shit he shouldn't, Tua does shit he shouldn't, Tua plays football like a dead worm. Speaking of a dead worm, that is Tua's arm, his left one. Tua's a righty, he just doesn't know it. If Tua's fucking up in every facet which he touches, and you pull him because, and I quote, you feel Ewers gave you a better chance to win the game, why in fuck's name is Tua not only starting this week, but getting all of the starting reps in practice?
Because they're still financially tied to Tua, and McDaniel's job is kind of tied to Tua.
Well, that's the other thing. By the way, you're close, but I will not honor that answer because I know the answer. It is shocking that ownership is extremely staunch in their support of Mike McDaniel, and they keep coming out and saying like, no, he's brilliant. We're going to see this through. It's one thing when you say like, no, Mike McDaniel's our coach. That tells me Mike McDaniel's fired. But when you say like, we fully support him, we are excited about him, shit like that, that tells me he's going to get this year as a mulligan. And it tells me like, if you're keeping Mike McDaniel into 2026, you're giving him a new quarterback because he has convinced you that the problem is not him, but the quarterback, right? But if you've bought that, why are you starting Tua? And the answer is very simple. Either the GM or the coach is getting fired this year. The GM, Chris Greer?
I think so.
His brother is the GM of the San Jose Sharks, and I always get their names confused. So Chris Greer is either the GM of the Miami Dolphins or the San Jose Sharks. I think it's the Dolphins. I think Mike Greer is the Sharks.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I love hockey. Oilers in overtime, baby. It's the most fun bet of your life. Every time. Right before we recorded. Chris Greer he was about to get fired years ago, and his last stab at having a job in the NFL was betting everything on Tua over Justin Herbert. And for 2 years, it looked like that was absolutely the wrong decision. Then they bring in Mike McDaniel, and suddenly Tua's productive, and Tua-non is born. And Chris Greer is granted total reprieve. I think that the ownership has said, give Tua the whole year. If he's as bad as Mike thinks, then we will get a great draft pick and replace him. And if he's as good as Chris thinks, then he will come through and prove that he can still be a franchise quarterback. And whichever one he's wrong is gone. And that's why the Dolphins have never had a substantial backup quarterback in the Mike McDaniel area. or era because they don't want to scare Tua. They don't want to pressure him at all. Kind of like the Vikings with JJ McCarthy. Oh, let's make sure we don't pressure him. Well, what happens when he doesn't fucking play? Idiots. Then you get Skylar Thompson, who was a bad college quarterback struggling to start at Kansas State, starting in the playoffs and still scoring 40 or 30 or whatever. That's way too much talking about this game. Fuck this game. Next game. Also fuck next game.
Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills going to play the Carolina Panthers. The Bills are -7.5.
The Bills are overrated. Their entire roster kind of sucks. Josh Allen has been good but not special this year. It's all pretty bad. The defense of the Bills is terrible. They got Larry Ogunjobi? When? Defense of the Bills is terrible. Their secondary is dog shit. Their defensive line is overrated. Like, if you look at PFF, it looks sick, but it's like, oh, Joey Bosa with his excellent grade, yeah, he only plays like a quarter of the time. Oh, Greg Rousseau with his excellent grade, it's all just controlling rush lanes and not actually impacting the pass game. Ed Oliver, oh, he's never on the field. The players that they, lean on the most are Tre'Davious White, sucks. Taylor Rapp, sucks. Christian Benford, mid as fuck. And Terrell Bernard, kind of sucks. Mid is probably a more apt description, but it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, the Panthers, it looks like they might be playing Andy Dalton because Bryce Young got hurt against the Jets. With Andy Dalton, I think the Panthers are pretty significantly underrated. They're a decent-ish team if they just had a quarterback. Like, Tet is sick as fuck. The offense is decent. Chuba Hubbard's good, but suddenly Rico Dowdle is elite. Like, I watched the Jets game. It's real. Like, he's making dudes miss and explosive, and it's weird. I gotta lean Panthers, but the Bills have been sliding, and I feel like they're going to turn that around.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers make sense because, like you said with Dalton, they're a little underrated. They've been playing well. It's 7.5. They're at home. They control the run game on defense pretty well, so it really is going to have to be Josh Allen do something.
Yeah.
And the Bills haven't been playing super well. So I think, like, the Panthers are the bet. If you make one, it's just that there's so much room for the Panthers might not be able to move the ball that well, and Josh Allen might have one of his really good games, and they win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and also, like, in theory, Andy Dalton is a backup who's actually an upgrade from the starter, but we don't know what Andy Dalton is anymore, because it's been a while since he really played. He's getting old.
Yeah.
Like, if Andy Dalton came out and totally, like, Big Ben or Peyton Manning'd at the end of their careers, like, if he just couldn't fucking sling it, would you be surprised? I wouldn't. So,
not at all.
Yeah, let's talk about the next game.
Yeah. I agree. Next up, we have the New York Giants going to play the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are -7.
Shit, I gotta hit up Birdwatcher. Birdwatcher and me and the flight attendant were supposed to get brunch on Saturday, but I will be in California.
Oops.
But, like, as much as I want to see them, I just go fucking Chicago. I'm gonna go to Chicago in November anyway.
Yeah.
The land of milk and honey. The promised oasis. Chicago in November. Low-key, November, top 5 month of the year in Chicago. Also being a top 5 month, low-key, not that big a deal.
I was about to say, that's kind of a low bar.
Yeah. So the Giants are the play. The Giants are pissed off that they somehow blew that game to Bo Nix. Bo Nix threw a touchdown that bounced off of a defender's arm in the end zone, right? Like, he threw a slant, defender broke it up, and it bounced straight up and landed in the corner of the end zone perfectly in the hands of Troy Franklin. That's crazy, right? But then Bo Nix also, on the game-winning drive, threw a post that was so inaccurate it accidentally hit either a dig or, like, a stop route. You can't tell because the ball was, like, not aiming for him, but he still caught it because it just kind of landed by his feet. Broncos fans are really, really upset that anybody would have the audacity to suggest that Bo Nix wasn't purposefully throwing into double coverage to a tiny receiver who's known for dropping balls instead of his number one receiver who was wide open next to him. But alas, the Giants will be angry. How much does that matter? Because the Eagles are going to be angry. And what if Jalen Hurts just, like, learned that the secret to everything is throw the ball deep to A.J. Brown no matter what?
Yeah, because if they do that again, they're actually throwing downfield and Jalen Hurts plays well, then the Giants get blown out.
They don't even have to be good balls, dude. They just got to be remotely catchable, and he'll get them. Like, A.J. Brown sneaky might be the best receiver in the league, not named Jamar Chase, and we just don't get to see it. And then, yeah, on the other side, like, Jackson Dart could not be more overrated. If you walk around the city of New York, you will see a Jackson Dart jersey on every block. People think he's Christ. It's insane. Shout out Rod. Rod fucking loves Jackson Dart. The exciting whites are back in New York. It's the exciting whites of the Eagles versus the fucking mongoloid. Is that the word? What's the kind of being that came right before the Homo sapiens?
Neanderthal?
That's it. The Neanderthal whites versus the exciting whites. And somehow the Neanderthal whites are not the ones from Philly, and the ones that are named after white wine are not from New York. This is very deep. Fuck this game. It's bad football. This is dumb football. This is run your face into a brick wall and hope that you gained a yard football between the tush push and whatever the fuck Jackson Dart thinks he's doing out there.
Next game.
Yeah, well, what's the next game, though? Is the fucking issue.
Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns going to play the New England Patriots. The Patriots are -7.
You get why I said this should be a quick pod?
Yes.
Fuck this game. Drake May, best quarterback in the NFL right now, like vying neck and neck every week with Baker Mayfield. Myles Garrett has low-key been not as impressive the last couple weeks as expected. Like, he's still Myles Garrett, but he's not like Myles fucking Garrett. You know, like, he's still great, but he's not. Myles Garrett on his bad day is like holding his own against double and triple teams, but Myles Garrett all of last year is like beating those double and triple teams. So that sucks. The last thing I'll say about this fucking game is, remember when Myles Garrett smirked and told the media, like, you think I would have signed that big contract if I didn't know we had a plan at quarterback? Yeah, I do think you would have done exactly that, because you did.
Yeah. I mean, like, you think I would have refused $100 million?
You think I would have lied and said I was going to hold out until you paid me? You think I would have lied and said I'd demand a trade until you pay me the most fucking money, and then I pretended we were going to get a quarterback? Come on.
Yeah. The Patriots should absolutely win this game, but 7's too big of a number.
Yo, what if you give the Browns Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza, though?
I mean, it could actually...
It's a legitimately really good quarterback class, Browns fans. I know it's that time of year.
We'll see how they pick the bad one. Next game, into the late slate.
I already know what they're gonna do.
We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to play the New Orleans Saints. The Bucks are -4.
Oh shit. This is a game we actually have to break down, but quickly I'm going to tell you what the Browns are going to do with my mic, or without recording, because now that we've established how the Browns will ruin everything for both us and them, do we fucking do it? Do we fucking bet on the Bucks again?
I mean, in a week like this.
So, yeah, it clearly has to make the maybe pile because it is the Bucks and it's relatively actionable. Now, Spencer Rattler 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, when we were recording this pod, we were like, is Spencer Rattler low-key fucking him? And this week I'm going to say, is Spencer Rattler gonna get benched in this game? Because 2 weeks ago, against the Patriots, he looked fucking stellar. And this week against the Bears, he threw 5 fucking pickables and fumbled. That's hard to do.
Yes.
The accuracy is a problem. The understanding defenses post-snap's a problem. He doesn't handle press coverage. We know that Todd Bowles doesn't love to do press coverage, but yeah, we're not going to get press coverage out of Todd Bowles.
Nope.
So we learned some things. Look back the last few weeks and you will realize that Todd Bowles' transformation that we thought we were seeing is kind of already over.
Mm-hmm.
He's returned to punting on 4th downs when he shouldn't. He's returned to not managing the clock well. The Buccaneers have returned to running the ball and throwing screens too often. Like, that consultant had a fucking sick first 4 or 5 weeks, but Todd Bowles forgot about him, and he wants to play with a different toy, and that different toy is apparently Servacia Dennis, who can't be removed from the field, but also Servacia Dennis can't do anything. Like, Servacia Dennis might not be allowed to tie his own shoes. I make jokes about, like, oh, this or that guy, but Servacia Dennis, like, I don't think he has full motor control. Like, it's not even that he's unathletic. He's pretty fast. It's just, like, he looks drunkenly clumsy. He looks like Woody from Toy Story running out there, especially when he tries to stop. So that's bad. Looks like Hassan Reddick's done, so that's bad. The Buccaneers defense is bottom 5, period. Largely because of Todd Bowles. Like, their secondary is incredible and should stuff everybody, but Todd Bowles sucks, so they don't. All you have to do to make the Buccaneers into at least a middling defense is play cover 2 man defense every rep. Just press you have really good, really athletic corners, most of which are really big. Play press coverage with your cornerbacks in man coverage. You will win. You won't get a pass rush, but that's fine. They'll have a hard time running against you because Vita Vea. Look at that. The easiest fucking defense on earth to design or call is plenty to make your defense good. But instead, Todd Bowles draws squiggly lines all over a chalkboard, shoves that chalk directly up his own asshole for the taste of it, and then, yes, you heard that right, and then comes out with a bottom 5 defense like always. Fuck this idiot. I hate him so much. Other side of the ball. This is gonna sound bad because Mike Evans is awesome, and once upon a time he was like my tippity top favorite, but that was a long time ago. Mike Evans has fallen off a bit. He drops the ball a ton. He has for 3 or 4 years now. Him getting hurt is kind of a blessing in disguise for the Bucks because A, they have to move on, and B, Mike Evans out there hurt is really useless because he doesn't have great hands. He's not a great possession receiver, and if he's not at full speed, he has no use because all he really is a deep threat because he's really smart and really crafty at getting open deep, but he's not that athletic. He's not a jump ball receiver, despite he used to be a jump ball receiver, but as he got slower, his hands went away. So losing Mike Evans helps. Emeka Ibuka will be healthy, and as much as I bang the drum for Tez Johnson is underrated and about as good as Emeka Ibuka, and by the way, PFF would agree with that. They have very, very similar grades. Tez Johnson either doesn't get enough reps, which is possible as a 7th round pick and 5th or 6th string receiver, or Tez Johnson's kind of dumb. Because Tez Johnson ran the wrong route about 4 or 5 times yesterday night. And it not no, Baker was accurate because. No, just completely misread what kind of defense he was facing. And he had one where he was supposed to run a streak because it was man coverage, or at least match coverage palms. And he broke it off into a curl, despite having upfield leverage. That should never happen. He had a sail route that he accidentally, or maybe it was a corner, I don't recall. But either way, same end concept. He accidentally ran directly into Mike Evans because he was 5 yards too shallow.
Not ideal.
Yeah, he does dumb shit, but then you give him the ball on that screen, he breaks 4 tackles and scores a touchdown. So he is electric. He has to do the right thing. You could make a really strong argument that Baker Mayfield with his D performance yesterday night was still the Buccaneers' best offensive player. Rachaad White left a ton of yards on the table because he has no vision. His power has improved tremendously, but first play of the game, if he bounces outside, he's got 25 yards easy, and he instead decides to try to run over a safety. And it looks cool. It's fucking sick when you lay the boom, but I'd much rather have 20 extra yards. And the entire offensive line sucks. Graham Barton was one of my guys in the draft. He's a bust. He's too weak, period. Haggard and Bredesen are backups who were never even good backups, and now they're starters due to injuries. And then Charlie Heck is one of the worst fucking players I've ever seen. How are you 6'8", 311 pounds, and have a fireman's mustache, but you cannot play offensive tackle for a lick? Genuinely, I think it's malpractice that they keep starting him. They've got this guy, Ben, some African last name I can't pronounce or remember. He's an undrafted free agent. It's not my fault. Apparently, they were really high on him in the preseason. Throw him in there. Can't be worse, literally. Literally cannot be worse. It's a 74th rated tackle out of 77 with a particular deficiency in the pass block game. That's bad. Tristan Wirfs is still good, so I guess Baker was the second best player on the offense. But yeah, it's a mess. I don't think the Saints are good on defense. I don't think the Saints are particularly good on offense. I still kind of don't want to bet this game because I don't trust that the receivers can actually run the fucking right routes, and I don't trust that the offensive line exists.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with -4. It's a division game. The Bucks are on a short week.
But if
Mike Evans is out for most of the season,
he's done. He's done.
Yeah,
he might retire.
And even if he's fallen off and he's not as good as he once was, I still think that's a comfort feeling for Baker.
No, certainly. At the least, he's smart.
Him hurts. So I don't think the Bucks are flying into this game. And with that number being 4, I think we just leave it.
He keeps coming down. If it touches 3, you bet it immediately.
Yeah, if it's -3, I think you take Buck.
Okay, so here's what you do. Half the games this week are touchdown favorites. Pick your favorite and parlay it with Bucks -3.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. I mean, that can't be a contest pick, but that's a fucking bet. A woman is yelling at someone in the park outside my apartment.
Sick.
Sounds not fun.
Who do you want to tie it with? This next game?
Yep. I mean, that's not going to move it enough, I don't think. We'll figure it out.
It won't.
Preview it, and I'll figure that out.
Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans going to play the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are -14.
Remember when I told you guys that Will Levis was not the problem? And then you said, just admit you're wrong about Will Levis. He's definitely the problem. Cam Ward's going to be so much better. Should Will Levis have been the first overall pick? Or is Cam Ward terrible? Or what's going on here? Because this is way worse than it was last year, despite upgrades all over the offense. Alex, set me straight. Because I know that you don't want... I know you disagree. Do it.
I don't really disagree, though. I mean...
You're goddamn right.
Will Levis looked very silly in certain spots last year and made more mistakes than I would have hoped he did. But, compared to this, it doesn't look that much worse. I mean, I think Cam Ward was a first overall pick in kind of a bad quarterback draft.
I agree, but there are, I
So
mean,
like he wasn't worthy of the first overall pick in my opinion. Like maybe in this draft he was, but in a normal year he wouldn't be. So I think it's partially that Cam Ward's overrated, and then it's partially that people jumped on Will Levis because he was an easy person to make fun of when the Titans were doing what they were doing last year.
the memes were dank.
And like some of those like still shots of him after like having a horrible turnover were hilarious.
Yeah, so if we parlay Bucks minus 2.5 with Colts minus 3.5, it's still minus 130. We're gonna have to find a better anchor.
That's fine.
We'll do it later.
We can keep looking as we go through. I'm assuming we're not touching this game.
Fuck this game. Fuck it right to hell.
14 is an unbettable line. Next game, closing out the late slate, we have the Dallas Cowboys going to play the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are minus 3.5.
Cha-ching. Maybe best bet.
Yeah, like Dallas, obviously their defense is bad, but Denver's offense is horrible.
Thank you. I thought for a moment there you were going to think I was betting Broncos. I'm glad that you saw through my ruse.
Yeah, no, not at all.
This is Sunday night when I saw this bet, I immediately laid down 6K. And usually on Sunday nights, like I give myself a little wiggle room in case I want to buy out or I change my mind. Bang. Like this is, let me show you how we do this. This is fucking crazy. Yeah, Dallas scores. They just do. Like it seems like George Pickens got the wake-up call he needed. Now, will it last? Fuck no. George Pickens will almost certainly have a very public blow-up within 2 years if history indicates anything about Steelers wide receivers with attitude issues. But right now, George Pickens is a model citizen to the extent that he can be, and he's probably got the best ball skills I've ever seen. He's like modern Chris Carter. Except somehow even crazier. And
I don't know if his is because of a substance abuse addiction either.
No, I mean, unless, dude, the fact that the George Pickens watching the draft picture is real is kind of terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy man, and he's a perfect athlete, which is scary. That's not safe. CeeDee Lamb might even be better though, which is like, what the fuck? So. And then Javonte Williams, he's got his power back, and it actually looks like he's getting faster every week, which is encouraging, like, as he comes back from several injuries that are catastrophic. I think the Broncos have been really lucky the last 2 weeks. The Broncos almost lost to the Jets because they couldn't move the ball at all. They almost lost to the Giants because they couldn't move the ball at all. They needed absurd fucking luck to come back against the Giants. They needed absurd luck to not get blown out by the Giants, right? I think the Cowboys win this game pretty clearly, because I don't, like, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys defense is not good, but Bo Nix sucks. He can't hit open receivers, so it doesn't matter if the receivers are open.
Yeah. I just worry that like the Giants and the Jets both have like mid defenses, whereas the Dallas defense is like legitimately bad. And so like maybe, Bo Nix and the Broncos can't score on a mid defense, but they can score on a bad one. That's my only concern.
How many extra touchdowns? How many extra touchdowns do you get from the Jets' average defense to the Cowboys' bad one?
Probably one.
Okay, so 20 points. The Cowboys are averaging like 40.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very fair. And like Denver has a good defense, but still, as we've seen, when the offense is that anemic, the defense just can't be that good that long because they get tired. They're on the field too much.
A thing that I've seen a lot on Twitter, like directed at me, is people being like, oh, Joe says X, it's definitely going to be Y, right? Like, there's a bunch of people in my mentions who are like, oh, Joe thinks that CJ Stroud's bad. That means he's going to be incredible. Well, how's that working out, guys? But legitimately, when Sean Payton loves a player, he sucks terrible dick. Like, famously, Sean Payton thinks that Bo Nix is going to be a superstar. It was his quarterback 1 in the 2024 draft. That's not a position that you're allowed to have. That's a thought crime. I don't believe in thought crimes. I like free speech sometimes. Yeah, I'm relatively okay with free speech. That's a thought crime. Incarcerate that man. You cannot say Bo Nix is going to be a superstar. By what fucking metric? And then, what's this bitch? Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's the white Lamar Jackson. Really? Really? According to fucking what? He's not even that fast. He's just like constantly taking Drew fucking Brees off the field to give Taysom Hill more touches. Why? Get that young Alvin Kamara motherfucker off my field. I need more touches for the 30-year-old BYU quarterback. Who's a rookie, by the way. No, No, it's bullshit and I hate it. It's evil, dumb. His defensive darling is Riley Moss. Fucking loves Riley Moss. You know what Riley Moss loves doing? Getting burnt deep and pass interfering. You know who's really good at drawing deep pass interferences? Old Georgie. I think Pickens is going to eat. I think you have to cover CeeDee Lamb with Patrick Surtain. And Surtain's really good. So, like, that's a good matchup. But then you're just going to have George Pickens doing hate crimes to Riley Moss in the backfield, the defensive backfield, that is. I love the Cowboys here. I'm going to up my personal bet. This might be a 12K-er for me as well. Maybe just 8, but bingo. Bango, bongo.
Do you know what the odds are for Moneyline?
No, but I was going to figure that out while you preview the next game.
Perfect. On to Sunday night. We have the Green Bay Packers going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Packers are -3.
Do you have a take? Because I kind of don't, despite this game being remarkably actionable and intriguing.
I mean, I lean Packers, but I don't feel strongly about it.
Packers can't beat anybody. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be on his revenge shit. Is this his first game back against Green Bay?
I mean, I would think so.
Okay, Steelers. Maybe pile. Like, legitimately, maybe pile. Based purely off that.
Let me see, because maybe he played him with the dead.
So while Alex looks, basically, the Steelers' offense is not great. It comes down to Aaron Rodgers hitting intermediate balls and deep balls and not turning the ball over. Fuck. Okay, yeah, no, the Packers are the play here. Micah Parsons is still Micah Parsons. Rashawn Gary is also sick. The Steelers' offensive line is not great, and Aaron Rodgers is evading sacks like a dead worm. Everything is a dead worm now to me. It happened like 2 weeks ago on the pod, and now it's all I can think of when I'm looking for negative comparisons. My metaphor button is broken. It just keeps on coming up dead worm.
Based on my quick research, it is his first time playing the Packers.
That meets my prior, so I agree. So yeah, it's going to be an onslaught on Aaron Rodgers, and he's really bad at mitigating that. He doesn't avoid pressure. He doesn't get the ball out quickly. He's going to throw the ball deep. He's going to take chances. He's going to try flashy shit that he's no longer capable of. Fuck. Yeah, the Packers, I hate it because I think the Packers are overrated. We've been trying to fade the Packers, and they're laying 3, and they're on the road, and it's Aaron Rodgers' revenge game, but I think that the Packers are the side. Also, like, the Steelers are destined to fall back to just around 500, and would you look at that? One more loss puts them right there.
Yeah, and I just feel like I agree with you that the Packers are going to be able to get after Rodgers. Their offensive line isn't very good, and they don't have like superstars to kind of bail them out. And then on the other side, like the Packers are still going to get pressure and have that exotic defense, but it's a Shanahan offense. Sure, Jordan Love loves to fuck up.
He does.
But
that's why they call him that.
But it's still a Shanahan offense that typically does well against these complex defenses because it just simplifies everything.
Yep.
So while the defense will still get some sacks and pressures and may even force some turnovers, I still feel like they're going to be able to move. The Packers are going to be able to move the ball well enough.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the Steelers have the firepower to keep up with it, especially under the pressure they're going to be under.
I have 2 things. Do we go full boomer and just rename him Jordan Loves to Fuck Up? I think you know the answer. We go full Mike Lombardi on this bitch. Dude, do you remember when Mike Lombardi had a podcast and like I literally, part of the inspiration for this podcast was just I needed to counter all the dumb shit he would constantly say?
I don't know if you follow anything that Pablo Torre does.
Oh, I do. Pablo, sociology goat.
And hell yeah, my brother in arms. He did an episode last week that was like continuing on previous reporting about Belichick and Jordan Hudson and that whole weird relationship and her involvement and everything. But the one he just did was like basically Mike Lombardi is the other person in Belichick's ear, and there was like a power struggle, and they were doing all kinds of Lombardi stuff. And I went, man, Joe would love this because it's just shitting on Mike Lombardi.
Buddy, I got a 7-hour flight tomorrow. It's already downloaded. I'm so ready.
It's so fun.
The other thing, the Steelers haven't been able to stop the run this year. That's been like kind of their Achilles heel. This is Matt, to borrow from Mike Lombardi in his infinite wisdom, this is Matt LaFuck. He thought Matt LaFleur was a bad coach who was minimizing Aaron Rodgers. How? It's like throwing darts at a board and you're like, oh, I missed the board. I guess I gotta say the dumbest possible word salad. It's like Mad Lib's evaluations of things. It's just no rhyme, reason, or fucking anything. I know he wins all the games and he comes from a great coaching tree and the plays are really well designed and he carries his quarterbacks to great production and efficiency no matter who they are. He's the bad one, actually. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The Sopranos is not a football thing. Don't talk about it. Stop it. It's a great show. Shut up. It does not unlock the secrets of Tom Brady. Fuck. I'm so angry. I hate Mike Lombardi like I hate sin. And I'm a Christian man. I can't say that in my trucker hat with my ironic American cutoff that I wear when I work out. Fuck. Am I becoming the meme that I sought to ridicule? We're so far off track. The third thing, and the reason we have to bet on the Packers is the Steelers' offense has largely been predicated on not an ability to hit the short passes consistently. No, it's Arthur Smith. He could never. It's purely, can I hit DK Metcalf deep down the field? And while DK Metcalf's very good, and Rodgers still does have a nice deep ball, you're not going to get the time. Micah Parsons is going to be in your asshole. He's going to be pulling the ayahuasca out of your throat from the back. You're fucked. You're so fucked. Okay. Packers -3. It's a bet.
Yeah. This bet does make me nervous because in my nightmares, this is a low possession game. They both run a lot, and then Jordan Love throws a pick or fumbles late in the game, and the Steelers pull it out.
Or even worse, the Packers with their infinite run game just grind the last 5 minutes off the clock, kneel it out, and win by 2.
Yeah.
But we need 5 picks.
We do.
It could even just be a fucking bonus bet. I don't know, but it's on there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
On to Monday night. We have the Washington Commanders going to play the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are -10.5.
Alex, this game might actually be the death of me, or it might be my greatest shining moment. Because exactly last week, I was mercilessly attacked, but I didn't know that the Chiefs had a ton of fans. I didn't know that many people lived in Kansas or Missouri. I thought between the two of them, they had 9 people left. Turns out there's more. And this is not meant to be shade. Since before I've known you, I've basically every year made a profit on the Chiefs because they were underrated because I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid's been my GOAT since I was in middle school. Get on this fucking level. I thought Andy Reid was the GOAT when he had Kevin Kolb. In fact, partially because he had Kevin Kolb. I was like, well, fuck, if he can do this with him, he's the GOAT. Alex Smith only confirmed it, and Patrick Mahomes made it obvious for everybody else to see. But Chiefs fans have decided that I hate Patrick Mahomes, which is so funny because he was I was ridiculed for hating Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson in that draft and saying the only one worth taking at all is Patrick Mahomes. He'll be good. He might take time, but he'll be good. And you live long enough to see yourself become the villain because what? Because I had the audacity to say Patrick Mahomes hasn't played well in a long time. Guess what? Last week against the Raiders, he threw 2 balls at the faces of Raiders linebackers. They didn't get caught. He had a total of 85 air yards on the game. Chiefs fans are very legitimately saying it was an elite, spectacular performance, the best thing they've seen from Mahomes since 2021, and he is now the easy MVP favorite. I'm not joking at all. The mere fact that you can say that's as good as he was back a few years ago means that you're acknowledging implicitly he's not that guy anymore. But no, instead we have to harass and dox people because they disagree very slightly with your quarterback evaluation. And who now stands in his way but Marcus Mariota, the man I've eaten more shit for than anyone, the man that just his success doesn't seem to matter, his performance doesn't seem to matter, people just can't care. Yeah. So I have the collision of 2 remarkable fucking narratives that I've been battling. One, that Patrick Mahomes, the most popular, famous football player in the world, is actually not nearly as good as his reputation and hasn't been for years. And 2, that Jaden Daniels, the most popular college football player in years, Heisman Trophy winner, Rookie of the Year. Did you know he went to the NFC Championship? He's gotta be good. He went to the NFC Championship. You can't even get there if you're not good. Unless you're like Jimmy Garoppolo or Brock Purdy or Nick Foles well, actually, a lot of shitty quarterbacks get there all the time. But that's not the point. That guy that everybody loves sucks, Jaden Daniels. And Marcus Mariota, his backup, is actually really good. And now we get to see it in terrifying splendor. And we're catching 10.5 points. Alex, the only reason this is not our best bet is because I think that if we were to lose it, and I were to have to deal with that maelstrom online, I would die. Not by choice, but because my nervous system is overloaded and done. However, if somehow the Commanders were to keep this game close or, God forbid, win it, I think that I would die because it would only make Chiefs fans angrier and dumber. I've recently learned that meatball fans talk more shit after they are embarrassed and suck than when things go right because they have anger that they need to get out. And they take it out on anybody who saw this coming. How dare you know the truth before me, you fucking idiot. They're a bet. The Commanders are a bet. The question is, do we put a half unit on the money line? Because it's plus 500, buddy.
I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs are still a better team than the Commanders.
Really? The Chiefs that lost to the Jaguars?
Yes.
Why?
And they got Rashee Rice back. They still have Andy Reid.
Rashee Rice had 2 catches beyond the line of scrimmage last week.
Yeah, but he creates. And the Commanders, their defense is bad.
It is bad, but if you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, Bobby Wagner has a chance at making a play. Honestly, their defense is not that bad. Sam Still is good. Sam Still is going to erase either Worthy or Hollywood Brown, depending on who they put him on. He might even erase Rashee Rice. The problem is Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes.
That's pretty bad. In fact, they're probably going to have to put Lattimore on Rice because Lattimore just can't run with Worthy or Hollywood. Fuck.
That's really, I think the spread is a great bet. I just worry that they're going to score too many points. And Mariota's going to have to be perfect, which is still, even as much as you like him, that's a lot to ask.
It is always a lot to ask. However, I will say, aside from the Falcons game, he's been perfect every time he's played.
True.
But the Chiefs are a really good defense, and the Chiefs are a really buttoned-up, polished team, and there just aren't many of those anymore. And like that's the most stark contrast is when you watch the Chiefs, even when Patrick Mahomes is hitting linebackers in the face mask. Everything looks right. Everybody's in the right place. Everything looks copacetic. The first read is open. The play calling makes sense, right? The first down play feeds into the second, feeds into the third. Everything's on schedule, disciplined, well coached.
What if Jaden Daniels plays?
Then the line probably shoots down to Chiefs minus 5.5, and you bet on the Chiefs.
Cool. Just wanted to get that out. Just because from what I saw, they said that Jaden Daniels' injury is like not significant, and he's probably not going to practice a lot, but he might play.
Yeah, if Jaden Daniels plays, I'm going to be really angry because I'll have to cash out the remarkable line value that I got on the Commanders. Mm-hmm. I got Commanders plus 10.5, and I also got them plus 500 on the money line. I'll cash out and I'll make a profit, so that's not bad.
I mean, then you could just bet on the Chiefs and make all the money back.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't even bet on the Chiefs. I would just take my profit and go.
That's fair.
Because like I am low on the Chiefs too. I'm just really low on Jaden Daniels. I mean, his accuracy is so bad, Alex. Have you watched the last 2 games?
Yes.
You had to.
He's been miserable.
This is what it was last year too. It's just he's not getting bailed out by the screens going for 10, 15 yards. It all looks better when the screens and the drags work. When they don't, you're exposed because now you notice, right? Like, did you know last year, obviously I said his deep ball was terrible, right? Bottom 5, bottom 10. There's another guy on Twitter, I forget his name. He did a really amazing job. He went through and graded every snap from every starting quarterback according to like several different kinds of statistics. So one thing he did is he went on NFL Pro and he charted the accuracy of every single deep ball over 20 yards that every quarterback threw, right? Similar to something that I do. And our results were fairly similar across the board. But he had Jaden Daniels as the second least accurate quarterback in the entire NFL last year, throwing balls 20 yards or further. Remember around the draft when they said the thing that makes Jaden Daniels special is his fucking elite deep ball? Yep. And the thing that makes Drake May erratic is that he can't throw down the field accurately. Again, sometimes I think these people just make up a thing to say and they say it and they don't really care if it's true and they've never watched a single fucking second. They don't have any idea. God, I'm angry.
Granted, in the playoffs last year, Jaden Daniels did hit some very nice deep balls.
Against the Lions,
what's that?
Against the Lions, he had 3. Against the Buccaneers and Eagles, total, he had 1.
Yeah, probably that Lions game then that I'm thinking of.
No, the Lions game, Jaden Daniels was legitimately great.
Yeah, because, most people aren't watching the Commanders play. It's primetime games and playoffs.
Remember
so I
when
feel
I
like
said
that hurt your agenda over the summer, but now,
remember when I said I want to revisit this tweet in 20 months and they said it's the worst tweet ever?
Yes.
My horizon was too long. If we would have revisited this tweet after 16 months, I'd be made in the shade.
You'll just have to wait to the end of the season.
Fucking God, I hate him. Not Jaden Daniels. This is the fucked up thing. I don't give a fuck about Jaden Daniels. He's a guy playing quarterback. God bless him. I just hate his fans. And it makes me feel bad because, I don't fucking have any animosity towards Jaden Daniels. I'd love to see good quarterback play. But now, I hate his fans and I want to be right. Yeah, Marcus Mariota plays. We have a classic. We're gaining 5 points of line value when the Commanders are probably getting 3 to 5 points better. So that's like an 8 to 10 point swing of value. You have to bet it every single time. And again, I'm fully aware that even if Mariota plays well and the Chiefs win by 2 points, Chiefs fans are going to be all over my ass. You fucking idiot. You said that he was even better than Mahomes by 2 slots? Yeah. It's not quite the same roster, guys. But okay. I'm already preparing myself to say I don't care and I'm ready to delete my fucking account if it becomes too annoying.
That'd be crazy. I wouldn't know what to do if you were posting.
Well, very, very simple. I would develop a burner to just talk about football casually with friends, and I would take the advice that I have gotten from my new friends who are kind of famous people and just switch entirely to YouTube, where I can delete people's comments or block them from commenting on my channel, and it's very easy. Yeah, honestly, it sounds kind of beautiful. It actually sounds so beautiful. Oh my god, you know how much less stressful football Sundays would be too if I didn't have to fucking tweet my thoughts and I could just fucking swallow them. All right.
One day, Joe. One day you'll get there.
Oh, speaking of one day, which rhymes with Monday, I'm gonna make a steak on Monday. Fucking Monday, baby. Have a fucking steak on a fucking Monday, baby.
It makes me miss the soundboard.
I was thinking about the soundboard. We might have to bring the soundboard back next week.
Yeah, Quote Bucket has run out of steam.
I could do Quote Bucket. We just didn't have time this week because I still have to go lift. It is 11. All right, let's wrap up. We know we're betting San Francisco over Houston money line, that it will be 2 units. It's kind of square, right? Everybody and their mother just saw Houston suck a dick on Monday Night Football, but everybody that thinks they're sharp, their logic is, well, CJ Stroud's actually good, and the Seahawks are just that great. So the Texans will actually, their true self will shine through. They will summon the power of the dragon, and their true self will shine through. No, CJ Stroud actually just sucks. You were all wrong. Own it. Why can't you guys just admit you were wrong about CJ Stroud? Do you know how many fucking times I read that tweet in the last year? Like probably 35 fucking times. And I was right the whole fucking time. That's why I don't admit I'm wrong, because I'm right. I'm so angry today. I'm gonna get a great lift in.
You gonna start potting before you lift more often?
Definitely. Also, I don't want to for obvious reasons, but I'm starting to kind of wish we like showed face, because I wish people knew like how much I'm smiling and giggling about how angry I am. Like it's fun for me. I do enjoy this, and I truly don't actually care.
Yeah, I mean, like half of my input is laughing at you being pissed off.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like,
exactly.
I'm not like, I love it when people are like, oh, you're so fucking mad. It's like, no, I genuinely don't care. Like, it's just fun for me to be angry. I like to bitch about dumb shit, and you guys are an ample example.
Joe's state of homeostasis is anger.
In college, I'd get drunk and rant about hockey and football teams I hated and fall asleep on the ground. Or in White Ron's bed. No gay stuff, just White Ron owned the bed. San Francisco, we can't go immediately from gay stuff to San Francisco, but we have to. San Francisco is a square play, but the reason it's not square is because the quote-unquote sharps are banking on CJ Stroud being special. They're banking on the 49ers injuries piling up and mattering, but they don't. It's just Kyle Shanahan versus CJ Stroud, and CJ Stroud is dumb and bad. Also, you've got Kyle Shanahan, the offensive genius, versus his old assistant running a defense that he knows the ins and outs of. Get fucking real. San Francisco 2 units. I'll be watching it in Pacific Heights. Hit me up. Chicago, Baltimore. If no Lamar, there's no number I wouldn't take. In fact, I kind of want to just hit it anyway, because even with Lamar, they're just not gonna score a ton of points.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good bet at 6.5. It's just a good number.
Yeah, I get the better coach. I get a team on a hot streak. And they're playing against a team that's really going through it mentally and might not have their quarterback. And even if they do have him, his hamstring's fucked up. 1 unit?
Yeah, I think 1.
Cha-ching. All right. We're going to wait on Tampa. We will anchor them with something. Just let us cook. Dallas is another best bet. We're going to split half of it on the money line at plus 150, which is nuts. And then the other half on plus 3.5, which is also nuts.
I like it.
All right, so we have 3 bets now. We need 2 more contest picks. I think Washington plus 10.5 has got to be one of them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I want to touch the money line. We're going to touch the money line. It's still plus 460. We're not going to put a unit on it. We're going to put, I don't know, what does a quarter of a unit get us? Alex. 0.25 unit makes us 1.15 unit.
Fine. I'm down. I don't think it's going to hit, but it's a fun long shot.
We are not going to miss that unit. And if we do win, this is just large enough of a bet that we can brag our asses off.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've got 4 contest picks. We are down to Green Bay is going to be our final contest pick.
Yeah.
So we got to throw 1 on Green Bay. And then Tampa and New Orleans with an anchor. Do we go Patriots over Browns? Do we go Falcons over Dolphins? Bengals over Jets. I think that could be the play. Ooh, Joe Flacco, whole family is from New Jersey. Revenge game. Doesn't actually matter. By the way, for those of you who are new here, the reason I'm always pointing out revenge games is because we think it's silly and it doesn't matter. And then we try to find ways to make it matter, but we know it doesn't. Eagles, Giants, I don't want to touch that because I lean Giants to win that game.
Yeah, same.
You know, as many big spreads as there are, I don't love any anchors here. Like, I like the Bills, but I don't love it because I hate their roster. We also like too many of the underdogs.
Yeah, I think Bengals is good. I really don't think the Browns are going to be able to win just because they can't. The only way they can score is running the ball, and I think Drake May will be able to throw well on that defense just because that secondary still hasn't really been amazing.
I think that the better parlay is to do the Bengals and Jets, or Bengals over Jets, but you know what we're going to do? The ultimate Joe parlay. Baker Mayfield triumphing over Spencer Rattler and those pesky Saints who refuse to start my home dog, Tyler Shuck. And Drake May, the chosen one, over the Browns who eschewed the second chosen one. It's beautiful in its simplicity. Life is beautiful in its whatever the fuck word. I don't know. Alex Jones quote. It's fun. I like it. So yeah, let's just toss Bucks money line with New England money line, and that's gonna be once we kick out Buccaneers minus 2.5, Patriots money line minus 110 odds. That's too perfect. It's got to be real. And we'll just toss one unit. We won't get greedy. Bang, homie. We got 8.25 units wagered this week, which we need because we're down 1.5 units on the season. So this is how we win.
We get back into it.
If we win every single one of these bets, we'll be up 9 units on the week. Think about it.
And then immediately perfect week.
Immediately stop thinking about it because every time I do that, I lose my ass. Last time I did it, week 4.
Yeah, let's not have that happen.
We can't week 4 again. It's not week 4. It's week 8. All right, that's all I got. I gotta go lift and get all this anger towards I don't even know who. Mike Lombardi. I gotta get it out. Watch me throw my back out on the bench press. It's gonna happen.
That flight will be miserable.
Oh my god, yeah. No, but I may have upgraded to the nice seats. So.
Ooh.
Nice for me. I don't need too small to need the first class, but the second class will do. All right. Until next week, every time you think I need to admit that I'm wrong, step 1, shut the fuck up. Step 2, get off social media. You don't belong. Step 3, please bet on football games. You will lose, I will win. Hasta.